Hello my beautiful friends. So many of you probably know, but there has been a bunch of iridescent multichromatic makeup coming out lately, which I am not upset about even in the slightest. I love me some iridescent multichromatic makeup, of course. But many of you have asked me what is the difference between some of this new iridescent multichrome makeup, and I figured I would go ahead and show you here on camera. So that is exactly what we are going to be doing today. So today we are going to be testing 3 different brands, and we are going to be basically swatching them against each other. We have Beauty Bar Baby, Devinah Cosmetics, and last but certainly not least, Love Luxe Beauty. So if you are interested in seeing these 3 makeup brands with similar formulas go head to head up against each other, then go ahead and keep on watching and let's jump right on in. So the first brand that has iridescent multichromatic makeup that we are going to be swatching here is Love Luxe Beauty, which is a brand that I love and adore. Now I have 2 different iridescent eyeshadows from them, and these are really new to their collection. I believe they just got them in like a few weeks ago, and I purchased them on the first launch. Now these are described as eye-safe iridescent foiled pressed sparkles. Reflective sparkles change with different lighting and different angles. So to me, the formula of these are definitely the thickest out of all of the 3 brands that I'm going to show you today. Now, the first shadow here is called Fira, and this is described as a purple, pink, rose, gold shifting shade. Now, as I stated, this is definitely the thickest of the formulas of the brands, and I definitely feel like this particular shade, and kind of the other one as well, are both more so along the lines of iridescent multichromatic foiled eyeshadows versus iridescent multichromatic sparkle eyeshadows. I don't know if that's going to make a lot of sense, but you'll see later on when I talk about the other brand. The other 2 brands in particular seem to have a bit more of a sparkle to them, while the Love Luxe Beauty formulas seem to be a little bit more foiled feeling. Fira is a super gorgeous color. I mean, Lord knows I love me a good purpley pink shade, and I love that they threw some rose gold in the mix as well. I really like these shadows. I think they last on the eyes really beautifully. I like that they're a little bit thicker because you have to kind of work with them a little bit less since you don't have to build them up so much. So I do like kind of the thicker formula. I like a creamier kind of buttery formula, and these definitely have that. They just don't have quite the amount of sparkle that some of the other ones that I'm going to show you do, but that does not mean that they're not absolutely beautiful. They're just a little bit different, but I like them. I like them a lot, and I think that if you are into foiled eyeshadows and you want some multichromatic iridescent goodness in your collection, this is definitely the way to go. I would definitely go with Love Luxe Beauty. If you like foiled eyeshadows and you're not super crazy about anything overly sparkly, there's a little bit of sparkle in here, just not as much as some of the others. So the next brand that we have to talk about here as far as iridescent multichromes go is, of course, Devinah Cosmetics. I had just talked your guys' ears off about by now, but you know I love me some Devinah. Now these are their multichromes, their iridescent multichromes, and these are described as multichrome shifting with shimmers. And these are mostly shimmery, so they're a little bit more sheer, a little bit more, I don't know, thin feeling to the touch, but they're not super thin feeling by any means. Comparatively to Love Luxe Beauty, they are a little bit thinner though. These definitely apply the best over a glitter glue, but you can still get them to work over just plain old eyeshadow primer, but I highly suggest a glitter glue because they will really pop. What I really like about the Devinah Cosmetics formula here as far as the multichromes go is that these have a very strong amount of base pigment while still being super shimmery. I would say these are probably the most shimmery out of all 3 brands, which I personally love. I love me some sparkle, love me some shimmer. I know it's not for everyone, but if you are like me and you love some good high shine shimmer, this is probably the way to go as far as the 3 brands go. Now we are going to be comparing the shade Runts from Devinah to the shade Fira from Love Luxe Beauty. Now Runts is described as a purple with gold and a red shift, and also has golden and kind of pinky reddish shimmers running throughout it. It looks a little bit more periwinkle on camera. On the right here we have Fira swatched out, and on the left we have Runts. So I think you can see what I'm talking about as far as Love Luxe Beauty looking a little bit more foiled versus Devinah, which does look a little bit more shimmery, a little bit more sheer, but is not sheer by any means. So the third and final brand that we're talking about here today, and that we are competing with the other 3 brands, is Beauty Bar Baby. Now they describe these shadows as sparkly, sheer, luminous shadows that can be used as eyeshadow or highlights. Now I would say that Beauty Bar Baby's formula is definitely the thinnest out of the 3, but I think that makes it absolutely perfect for highlighting. One of these shades in particular, the shade I'm about to show you, is the most gorgeous freaking highlight. I love it as an inner corner highlight, I love it as a brow bone, I love it as a face highlight. I do think it's a little sheer for an eyeshadow, don't get me wrong, but as a highlight, this is stunning. There's another shade that I have from Beauty Bar Baby that I'm going to be showing in just a few minutes here that is almost like a different formula, a different texture. It's got a different kind of sparkle running throughout it compared to this shade here, which is called Fluff, which is a really cute name, reminds me of Marshmallow Fluff. But this is a pale lavender with pink and gold shimmers. Now you're going to see here in just a moment, but I go ahead and swatch out all three brands' kind of lavender purple shade that I have. I wanted to swatch out all of the colors that were the most similar from each brand, of course. This way you could see them up against each other and decide for yourself which one you like the best and which formula is the best for you. But this is definitely the most sheer. It's the least sparkly, although it is a little bit sparkly, but it is just a really beautiful, soft, kind of angelic, glowy, iridescent shade. And I really love the tone of the shadow as well. I think the lavender with the pink and gold is so cute. And like I said, it's a beautiful freaking highlight. I think as an eyeshadow, it's going to be gorgeous on anyone who's into this kind of eyeshadow, but I personally love it for a highlighter. But as you can see, this is all of the lilac-y, lavender, kind of pinky gold shades that I have from all three brands. So you can decide for yourself which one is your favorite. So now we're getting into the more blue-toned purples here. Oh my god, of course, I drop the eyeshadow. Every freaking time I drop an eyeshadow when I do one of these swatch videos, so this is what I have on the line. This is what I'm risking every time I do one of these, but I just can't stop doing them because I love them. But this is the shade Rocks from Love Luxe Beauty, and this is described as a blue, purple, and rose shifting shade. Now this one is very similar to Fira in the sense that these are more so of foiled eyeshadows, and you can see that in the swatch. They're definitely shimmery, don't get me wrong, but they're just thicker. They're more foiled looking, which is really awesome for people who love foiled shadows, like I said. I think the shine on these shadows are really beautiful as well. They get their shine more from the reflection versus the sparkle, if you know what I'm saying. So I wanted to compare the shade Kazookles from Devinah to Rocks from Love Luxe Beauty because they're both kind of blue-toned purpley shades, and this is described as a pastel violet with red shimmers and pink and golden shifts running throughout it. So as you can see, we have a lot more shimmery action going on with Kazookles, but the overall undertone is very similar. So they're basically very close shades. On the eyes, obviously Kazookles is going to be more sparkly, a little bit more sheer. You're going to have to build it up a little bit more versus Love Luxe Beauty's Rocks, which you're basically going to get full pigmentation off of the first application. But the good thing about the Devinah Cosmetics Multichromes is that you literally have to apply 2 layers and you have full opacity. It's not like you're really working that much harder to get them onto your eyes than you would with Love Luxe Beauty's. Love Luxe Beauty's is just ever so slightly easier to apply because it is that thicker formula. So if you're the kind of person that's into cool toned blue based purples, then both of these are amazing options. I think it just depends on your personal taste on whether or not you like foiled shadows or sparkly shadows. So now we're going to go ahead and jump on into the pinks here. So I'm going to get started with the shade Marshmallow Pillows from Devinah Cosmetics. Now this is my favorite multichrome that Devinah has, and I don't think I need to explain why. It is freaking stunning. It is a pastel hot pink with a blue shift and pink and blue shimmers, and it is ultra shimmery, and it's a little bit more creamy, a little bit more buttery to the touch than some of the others, although they're all pretty darn creamy, don't get me wrong, but for some reason this one's just ever so slightly a little bit extra, which I love. It is such a gorgeous Barbie pink shade. I'm obsessed with it. I wear it all the time. But nonetheless, as you can see, we have a lot of shimmer action going on here. We have some pretty intense sparkle, but nothing too chunky. I think it just translates so beautifully to the eyes, and it looks so wet and shiny on the eyes. It is absolutely stunning. Now, the next shade that we're going to be comparing here is from Beauty Bar Baby. And this is the shade Oracle, and this is described as a rose pink with golden and pink shimmers running throughout it. I'm not sure if it's really going to translate that well on camera, but in the pan here, I think you can kind of see the shade itself definitely has a decent amount of shimmers and kind of micro sparkles to it, which is very different from the shade earlier from Beauty Bar Baby that I showed you, which was called Fluff. That shade in particular was more of an iridescent kind of soft sheen versus Oracle, which has a bunch of micro shimmers, which gives the eyeshadow itself a really pretty shine. This type of formula in particular really reminds me of the Devinah Cosmetics formulas here, which I love because the Devinah ones are killer. They're all killer, don't get me wrong, but something about the sparkle that the Devinah has here is just to die for. And Oracle really has a similar sheen and a similar amount of micro shimmers running throughout it. It's just kind of strange how both of the shadows that I have from Beauty Bar Baby are so drastically different. One is super shimmery and sparkly, and the other one is very soft and iridescent and angelic. I love them both, don't get me wrong. It's just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of threw me off a little bit, but I'm not unhappy about it by any means. This is a gorgeous rosy pink golden shade that is ultra shimmery, and honestly it looks even better in person than it does in that swatch there. It is an absolutely beautiful shadow. And finally, last but certainly not least, the last pink shadow that we're going to be comparing to the two I showed you previously is Pixy Sticks from Devinah Cosmetics. Now this is also a rose pink with pink and gold shimmers, and this one also has a bit of a golden shift as well. Now the difference between Oracle and Pixy Sticks is that Pixy Sticks is definitely more sparkly, although like I said at the beginning, none of these sparkles are chunky, they're all super finely milled. The shadow on the right is Pixy Sticks and the shadow on the left is Oracle. I feel like the golden sheen that is running throughout Pixy Sticks is stronger than what we see in Oracle, but I do feel like the rose pink base in Oracle is stronger than what we see in Pixy Sticks, if that makes sense. I think both shadows are very similar, so I don't think that you would need to go out and buy both. I think it kind of just depends on whether or not you want more gold in your pink eyeshadow or if you want more pink in your golden pink eyeshadow. They're both beautiful, the formulas are amazing. I think they're both stunning. It just kind of depends on what you personally prefer. Alright folks, but we have reached a conclusion to this battle of the iridescent makeup video here. We have put Devinah head-to-head with Love Luxe Beauty, we have put Love Luxe Beauty head-to-head with Beauty Bar Baby, and vice versa. So all of these eyeshadows are beautiful, and they all have the same iridescent quality to them, of course, and they are all also multichromatic. But I know from personal experience that when you're shopping for eyeshadows, when you're shopping for iridescent makeup, and you have a bunch of different options to choose from, and a bunch of different colors that are similar from a bunch of different brands, it can be very hard to know which one you want. So that is the point of this video. I hope that I was able to show you the difference between, you know, a lot of these similar colors from different brands, even though they're all claiming to be similar formulas or the similar kind of type of formula. Iridescent Multichromes, of course. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you were able to figure out which ones you liked the best, which ones, you know, you weren't really into, that you thought might be a little bit different online. I hope that you were able to make a more informed buying decision from this video. If you enjoyed seeing these makeup brands go head to head with each other and you just like seeing swatch videos and you are not already subscribed, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I have lots more coming for you. And if you have any suggestions on specific brands you want to go head to head with each other or specific things that you want to see kind of compared, let me know in the comments. I am more than willing to make that happen for you. And if you found this video helpful, then I would absolutely love it if you gave me a big old thumbs up. It helps out the channel, it helps out small creators, so if you choose to do so, then I greatly appreciate you. But with that being said, I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing, beautiful, and bright and sunny day wherever you are, and thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope to see you next time. Bye!